All right, it's time to come clean. I kept something from you in the last video. I didn't tell you about something that I found. But before you draw any conclusions or answer in the comments, I just encourage you to watch the whole video, because in the middle of the video, you may be tempted to think you have it all figured out, but things come up that complicate what is the simple answer.
You want to talk about stress? Want to talk about stress? Okay? I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac. How about that for stress? And I got a paper trail to prove it. Check this out.
So there was an outlier I didn't mention to you, or I didn't point out, because I just thought it was too weird, and it's Refinery 29. Now, you'll notice that Refinery 29, unlike all of these channels, who are sort of more well-known, and even some of these, like WWE, BuzzFeed, they're all well-known. You might not have heard of Refinery 29. It's a modern woman's media company, and it got a lot of trending videos, both in terms of its size and in terms of how many views it had to get on trending. Now, you can't see it because like the axis is squished, but there's a big difference between what even Stephen Colbert had to get on trending than Refinery 29 did. And it's so different that it made me start to think about, why is this channel on trending? Here is a great way to visualize this made by Eaton Lees on Twitter, who used my data classification to create a semi-log plot, which all of that is it just shows scale a lot better. And here you can clearly see just how different Refinery 29 is from any of the other channels. You can see it's a total outlier in terms of how many views it got to be trending that much. Like, just visually look at this. If we take it away, the graph looks normal. You add it, and it's like, what is going on? Now, if that had been the only weird thing, I wouldn't be talking to you guys. But there was one other thing that I sort of found by happenstance while creating a time lapse of this whole project that made me think there was something else going on. And it's this. So when you look at the time lapse, what you see is that channels who trend a lot tend to get those trending videos over a pretty even amount of time. And that makes sense. If you're a very trendable channel with a very consistent upload schedule, as a lot of these traditional media companies have, you get trending videos pretty consistently. You'll see that a lot of these channels just continue to grow through the end of our time lapse. But that's not what you see with Refinery 29. Now, I'm gonna mark them so you can see them, and watch what happens. They get all their trending videos right up front and then just stop trending as if a switch is flipped. Now, I went back and I checked their upload schedule. Their upload schedule seems to remain constant. Their view count remains pretty constant. Their subscriber count was pretty constant. What could be going on here? Refinery 29 seems to have been trending all the time over a very narrow window of about 3 months, and then it turns off. The magic turns off. And I mean magic, because they trended 39 videos. Would you like to know how many videos they uploaded during that time? 39 videos out of 82 videos. One of 2 videos that Refinery 29 released was trending during that time period. And that wasn't because every one of them was a banger either. The fact is their performance was really different. Some videos got 100,000 views, went trending, which is a whole thing. That's horrible already. But some videos got 7,000 views and went trending. And not like in 1 hour, in like 1 or 2 days. 7,000 views in 1 or 2 days. And after seeing this, I've got to be honest with you, I was just left with the impression that somebody was sitting at the trending tab being like, oh, Refinery 29 uploaded another video. We're gonna pop them on the trending tab. We're gonna pop them on the trending tab, pop them on the trending tab. Now, of course, the explanation doesn't have to be someone manually doing it. In fact, that's the last conclusion I want to jump to, but that's just what it looks like. I know most people's thoughts when they see this is just the algorithm changed, so Refinery 29 just isn't trending anymore. But an algorithm change would affect all the channels, right? An algorithm change would affect the signals that YouTube's considering for every channel. And when we look at the plot of when all these other channels are trending, we see that nobody else's trending pattern changes that drastically. Now, the only other thing that it could be, and I would love for YouTube to hit me up if this is true, it could have been a bug that YouTube fixed.
We fixed the glitch.
That's a plausible explanation. The only thing there is, it's weird if it was a bug, because then they later make a think piece about Refinery 29 where they ask Refinery 29 how they grew so fast that year. And they say, wow, it's incredible that you've tripled your growth over the last calendar year. How'd you do it? And it's like, well, they trended 40 times and 39 times within a super narrow window. How do you think they did it? Like, you guys are the ones who trend them. You should know that. And it seems disingenuous to highlight a channel who may have benefited from a bug in your system. So, I don't know, that's not really that satisfying of an answer. Very strange, and I thought about not talking about it, but eventually so many people reached out that I felt like I just, in the interest of completeness, I had to tell you guys something, the weird stuff too. So that's it.
Damn it, dude, I'm having a panic attack. I'm actually having a panic
Will you
attack.
settle down and have another cup of coffee?